Hello everyone, it is Supermetroidfan yet again here, and I am here to kind of finish up the quad set of Dungeons & Dragon characters that I was starting to do, yet did not finish. My nose is being irritated right now, I may sneeze. Anyway, what I've come here to finish today is a rogue. Again, like I may have said before in other videos, I may have not said, I don't have experience with making a rogue, or really anything besides barbarian too much. I mean, I've helped some friends out with it, but really that's about all I did. I didn't do too much else. So, today I am here to show you what you need to make a rogue, the different possibilities of using a rogue, and the kind of rogue that I would use. You can use my template that I'm going to use here on this character sheet for an example, and I have another one under there. Why do I have another one under there? Right, so to make any character in D&D, as I've shown before, you're going to need at least 1d6, or more than likely you want 4 set of nerd dice when you're going to play your game. A pencil or 2, definitely not a pen, a piece of scrap paper, doesn't have to be that big, just be like a little tiny post-it note, and a character sheet, you know, because that's typically what you will put a character onto. And also, if you have the excess cash, you can get yourself your hands on one of these bad boys. A basic player's handbook, which I do have to the side, and since I'm unfamiliar with rogues, I have the page opened up to rogues. So, it's been a long time since I've done this, but let's get right to it. Now, the typical rogue, as you would know, some are stealthy thieves, others are silver-tongued little tricksters. Others are scouts, infiltrators, spies, etc. A rogue is literally the character that's all about the roleplay part of Dungeons & Dragons, whereas different classes, as I said before, have different finesse to them. A rogue's major abilities are her sneak attack, and I'm saying her because it's out of the book of first, her skills, and her craftiness. A rogue is known to be the most skill-based character. A majority of these skills are hers to use as a class feature. One of her other specialties is her sneak attack ability. If she gets, for example here, if I can show, if you don't mind, let's take this D12 right here as the opponent, and they're standing roughly at this square. Then you have a rogue with 30-foot movement right here, human, because I do humans because they're pretty good for beginners of the game. She can move up, and let's say they're facing that way, and sneak behind and then perform a sneak attack, which she will stab them in a critical spot, more than likely hoping to finish the job and kill them. That's one of their specialties, but they're not very combat oriented, unlike barbarians and fighters. A rogue is more so meant to be played as the stealthy character of the group, and if she has to be in combat, she has to be in it and she can try to fight. Typically your rogue is going to be using a d6. It actually will be using a d6 for hit dice, which means she has a variable between 1 to 6 to get for max hit points, including without Constitution. Usually in the games that I play, though, we never take 1s, we always get 2 to 6. But still, that's a relatively smaller margin than the cleric who has a d8, or the barbarian who has a d12, but it's better than a sorcerer who uses the flimsy little d4. So if you haven't taken notice, also, in this little series that I've been doing, I've been showing you how to make classes that go through the typical system like so. I've shown you how to make a sorcerer, which uses a d4 hit die, so you have a magic user in a party. I'm going to show you how to make a rogue today, which uses a d6, which is going to be the roleplay character. I've shown you how to make a cleric, which is going to be the party's healer. I've shown you how to make a barbarian, which is going to be the party's heavy hitter. To make this simple for you guys, I'm showing you how you can be able to make a really good 4-person squad in D&D. But enough pre-show talk, let's get right to it. So my rogue that I'm going to play is going to be based on pickpocketing. If you want to make a dungeoneering rogue, I will include instructions on how to do that after. It's relatively simpler, well, same. Combat-oriented rogue I don't encourage, but is a possibility. So, what do you need to do this, as I've already said before? To review, you need a character sheet, 1 to 4 d6s, probably want 4, a set of nerd dice, because you're probably going to play the game anyway, at least 1 pencil, I have 2 in case one breaks, and a piece of scratch paper. So, let's begin. Of course, as I've done in my previous little show-offs, I don't name my characters by myself, or give them a name so you may choose. Class, I have a Robe, so I will dot this down as Rogue. And then about halfway through, I usually put this little line here to represent this where levels begin. 1 slash. In case I get a prestige class, I have it all lined up right there. You can see. Yes, you see? Okay. Race. I usually do the human route, so I am doing human again. Alignment. Now, let me check this out. I'm not sure on this bit. Rogues follow opportunities, blah blah blah. Alright, so rogues don't have any restrictions on alignments, though they're not usually lawful because a rogue, they're a rogue. They rebel. So typically they lean towards being chaotic or neutral, or more so. It says in the book chaotic, but I'm going to go with a true neutral rogue. A deity. Do they usually do deities? No, a lot of them don't. Like, they're not renowned for deity stuff. Okay. I think I'm just gonna go blank with deity again. Size, as a human, it is a medium creature. Age, a rogue usually would be a bit older, I do believe, because that way they can have more finesse. So giving this rogue an age of 21. It seems like a good age to me. Gender, male, because I'm a guy. Height, rogue is a human. Our rogue is a human. Not rogues are human in generality, just our rogue. So let's go with a height of, I don't know, 5'6". That seems pretty good, pretty tall. Wait, Rogue, unlike a barbarian, isn't very heavy with body mass. Isn't very light like sorcerers either. It's kind of usually a mix because they need some combat capabilities. So I'm gonna leave the weight blank until we see our scores. And then the descriptions of eyes. Blue hair. Blue eyes. What the fuck? Blonde hair, skin white. I think I'm just gonna text message. Oh well, that'll have to wait until after. Okay. Now let's roll for our rogue, shall we? So like I said before, you want to hope for your minimum score being a 10. And oh god, that's bad. Reroll all of ones in cases of stats in my campaigns. You don't have to follow this rule, you can if you want to. Immediately we see better results. So there's 2 2s, a 5, and a 6. We remove 1 2, giving us a 13. So I'll take that because 13 is not that bad for a low score. Doing good, doing good. Which means the 13 is going to give us a +1 because 12 and 13 will give you +1. 10 and 11 give you 0. That is pretty damn good right there that we just got all this. That is a really high roll that I just got. A 5, 5, and a 6. That is a 16, which will give a +3 to anything on that stat. Let's see, where was I? Oh yeah. A 14 and a 15 will give you a +2. A 16 and 17 will give you +3. And an 18 being that, oh wow, this is a lot of ones. An 18 is the highest you can possibly get when rolling for character stats. And really nothing to complain about it because it gives you a +4. That was a total of 14. Nothing tremendous here on this character. Everything's being relatively balanced. And then going backwards, if you were to get... Oh, we just got an 18, folks. We just got an 18. Maxing out 1 score. Hallelujah. An 8 or a 9 will give you a -1 to an action. Okay, immediately going bad again. A 7 or a 6, I think I'm at now. Yeah, a 7 or a... no. A 9 or 8 gives you -1. 7 or 6 gives you -2. I'm rolling terrible for this bit. Terrible! Oh, come on! You don't pick my favorite dice! What the fuck? On the sheet. Okay, that just fell off. Off the sheet. Damn it, this is a bad one. Okay, 2, 3, 2, 3. Okay, that is 8. Okay, so this character's got a bit of a bad side on it. Come on. Really? 3 threes? Come on, please, just give me, like, that would be a 9. Can you give me a 5? Or another 3, that's a 9. Okay. So, for this rogue that we have, we've gotten a 13, a 16, a 14, an 18, an 8, and a 9. So we're going to have a little bit bad on a rogue, which is not that good, because rogues, you want to have this, like, if a barbarian has an 8 or a 9, that's fine, because there's some things they don't need to have. For example, intelligence, or charisma, or wisdom. A rogue wants to have everything a 10 minimum. The fact that this is here is not that good for a basic rogue, but it's still agreeable because there is an 18 and a 16 in this. That's the only reason I'm not going to reroll. I'm going to stick with this. So now, what to decide? Well, as I said, rogues have the most possible skills to fill out of this entire little section here, but they also have the largest modifier. A barbarian gets a 4 plus intelligence times 4 for their first level. A wizard, I think, has a 4 as well. A cleric, I think, has 2 times intelligence. No, 2 plus intelligence times 4. And the sorcerer, I'm not sure. They don't get that many skills anyway. So they're either 2 or 4. So the rogue is going to have an 8 plus intelligence times 4 for her first level skills, and after that's 8 plus intelligence. So, since I am a pickpockety rogue, right, I need to have focus on, where is it here? Sleight of hand, which is a dexterity-based skill. So I'm going to be using light armor, because all rogues are proficient with light armor, but they are not proficient with medium armor or heavy armor. And they're proficient with simple and light weapons, and a few random other ones, but nothing else. So I'm going to put my, this is actually kind of tough here. Alright, let's think. I'm not going to be carrying too much because there's a barbarian in the party, so I don't need a very high strength score. But I don't want to take negatives in that in case I get stuck in combat. My dexterity will be really important because I'm going to be all about pickpocketing. You know what? I'm going to put the 18 in there. Makes the most sense to me. My constitution isn't going to be all that helpful, but having a few more hit points will be kind of nice. I think I can put the 9 in that. I don't mind taking the negative 1 on that, which is a little sad because I'm going to have 5 hit points to start with, but oh well. My intelligence I don't want to take any negatives on. Seeing as how I already used the 8 and the 9, I suppose maybe the 14 would be a good idea here. My wisdom. Do I want to look bad or not be smart? What is a cleric in a sorcerer? You know what, this is, I don't need to be generally wise to the world. I don't mind taking that. That's the wisdom. Okay, so I've already used my 8, my 9, my 18, and my 14. So I'm left with 16 and 13. With 13 strength, I'm not going to be strong at all. But with 13 charisma, I'm going to look bad. You know, 13 gives me a +1, so why not? And I'll put 16 in strength so I can fight a little. Just in case my charming good looks don't really work out for my favor. Alright, so the rogue that I've made is, as I've said before, not oriented towards combat, is more so oriented towards pickpocketing from people. And you know what, actually, I'm not going to put that 16 in strength. I feel like that wouldn't be the best idea since I'm not really combat oriented. I feel like it probably would be better to put the 13 here and put the 16 charisma. Because my kind of plan with this character is, if I fail at trying to pickpocket someone and they get mad at me, I can try to talk my way out of it. So I'm also going to be a little bit focused on using diplomacy a bit, but it's going to be more so for the cleric to do. I'm using this charisma possibility as a chance to be able to escape from the situation without any penalties to myself, such as getting the crap kicked out of me, or somebody being really mad at me. And I don't have any temporary abilities, so that's going to be remaining blank for now. Okay. So now my hit points are 6 plus Constitution, which since it's a -1, I have 5 hit points at level 1. Ouch. That stings. That really stings, because I think I'm the same as the Sorcerer! Oh, that's too funny to me. I just realized that the Sorcerer probably still has 5, because I lost the character sheets for those characters. I can't remember what to do with them. Alright. I'm a human. I'm wearing light armor, so I have 30-foot speed. Armor class. I gotta get my items first before I can judge that. My touch, flat-footed, ignore that. Initiative will include my 4 decks, but I will see about my feats in a bit. Okay, so before I move on to stuff that I have to look in the book for, here's all the stuff that's been predetermined by mostly luck. I can just get it in there. There we go. So as you can see, my strength score is okay, my dexterity is really good, my constitution and wisdom kind of suck though, my intelligence and charisma are fine and all, but that's fine. I don't mind taking that negative 2 HP so long as I don't get 2s every time I freaking try to roll for health, which would suck. And again, I'm not combo oriented, so I don't have to care. I'm getting a +4 in intelligence. Well, not +4 in intelligence, +4 in initiative, so I'm actually going to be, in the case of combat, one of the first people to move more than likely. Alright? So if you have your robe, and you're going to be using mine as a template, now is the part where I might get lost, and things may get a bit more complex for me, because now there's going to be so many flipping skills. At later levels, if you're joining a campaign late and you're being allowed to be a higher level character and you're a rogue, I suggest getting a freaking calculator, because you're going to need that. But for now, I'm going to refer to the book as what I'm going to get. So I get a 0 base attack bonus, which is like what the I get a total of 1 in grapple and 0 in base attack. And the grapple is only 1 due to my strength. Let's see, base throws, I get a 0 bonus to my fortitude, a 2 bonus to my reflex, and a 0 bonus to my will. Of course, I'm going to suck at fortitude saves. I suck at saving myself too now. I take a -1 to fortitude saves, a -1 to will saves, but I get a 6 reflex. No spell resistance. I don't have anything like that. My attacks, these are, for 1, ass attack, for sneak attack. This is based on whatever weapon I'm using, but it's going to guaranteed be a melee weapon, so I'm taking a +1 to that no matter what. I'm not sure how the damage on that is done. Range, nothing, type, blank, critical, I don't know. Alright, so for the most part here, no, that's about it, I think. Oh, here we go. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Okay, it's just purely 1d6 damage. I think, is it? Can't score crit when I sneak. Oh no, I don't do double damage if I get critical. Oh, okay, so actually, if I do a sneak attack, I could use my crossbow, which means it would be a 0 bonus to this, but it means 30 feet at maximum range. Okay, okay. Alright, so it's just going to do 1d6 plus my, plus nothing, I guess. It's just purely that damage. Okay. So now I'm going to go to the basic Rouge starting package for what I'm going to be using. I'm not going to use it for skills though. Let's see, I get a short sword, a light crossbow, and a dagger. So those are my other attacks. So I have a S sword, a light crossbow, and my dagger. Which, quite honestly, is probably what I'm going to wind up using the most. Short sword damage is 1d4 plus 1 because I have that 1. It has a 1 base attack, a 19 to 20 critical, so I have a high chance of critting with it at least. And it is a piercing weapon. Okay. I'm not going to throw it, so no range on it. The crossbow does not get any base attack bonus because it's a crossbow. It's a preloaded weapon. I deal 1d6 damage with it. 19 to 20 crit range again, which means high chance for that critical, which I really am going to need. It has a maximum range of 80 feet, so I don't even have to sneak with it. It is a piercing weapon? Piercing weapon. And now my dagger, which deals very little frickin' damage. 1d3 plus 1. Same amount of critical range. I can throw it 10 feet if I want to. And it's a piercing weapon. So the one problem we have here, as you can see by what I'm showing you here at the attack section, our little roguester here really is gonna have to sneaky shot everything in combat. Which is a very dangerous thing, because if we get in a big brawl, I am gonna die. And now my armor is leather armor, which will provide me with a +2 armor. I don't use a shield. Rogues are not proficient with shields, so don't usually use one. I get a +4 my dexterity, however. Wait a minute. Oh no, that's just for being a halfling. Never mind, I thought I was going to miss something here. I have a 16 armor class, now that I have my leather armor, as one should be able to see here in the AC section. Let's see, flat-footed, you lose your dexterity bonus, but not your armor, so that's a 12. Touch, you lose your armor, but you keep your dexterity bonus. I think that's how it works. I'm not relatively sure still how flat-footed and touch work, even though I'm a DM. I've just been, the monsters that I use, I've been using that as my examples for stuff. Right. So that covers my attacks, my ACs, my stats, my saves, base attack and grapple. Now to the long, fun decision part, the skills. Now, what a rogue gets for skills, right? I'm literally going to have to bring my book possibly into slight view here to do this, because there are so many. Okay. You get appraise, balance, bluff, climb, any type of craft, decipher script, diplomacy, disabling a device, disguise, escape artist, forgery, gather information, intimidation. Huh, I wonder why I don't get hide. Jump. Oh, a specific type of knowledge. Local. A listen. Move silently. Open lock. Perform. I can choose anyone I want. Profession. Anyone I want. Search. Sense of motive. Sleight of hand. Spot. Swim. Tumble. Use magic device. Robe. Okay. So like I said, right? Sorry for that, I hit my space bar. Now I'm going to have to wind up actually editing this. Good thing I'm working with editing a lot more. So just to give you a slight example here. Do you see all those little black spots? All the spots I filled in with pencil? Those are your skills. This is what the class is about. I suck at combat. I don't get that much hit points in comparison to a lot of other classes. And I get regular feats and I get regular skill points and everything. Well, regular stat points. I get so many skills though. Now here's the other thing, right? You need to scratch paper for this part. Especially if you're a regular skill-based rogue, right? You take 8, add your intelligence, which for us is a 2. Multiply it by, well, first add them, and then multiply by 4. 40 skill points just with 2 intelligence modifier. 40 skill points, my friends. This is where the rogue has its fun. Get to mess around a lot now. Before I do progress, I have to remember though, some skills use certain stats. Specifically ones with Constitution, which is concentration, which I don't even need. That's a spell user spell thing. Wisdom, I actually am a little screwed on because there are a few things that do use wisdom. How wonderful is that? But anyway, for the most part here, this is going to be interesting because I set myself up to be used a certain way, and I can do that. I can do what I wanted to. Immediately, I'm going to do the things with dexterity because that's what I wanted to focus on. I'm just going to quickly fill them in so I don't forget. Alright? And the three types of rogues I've mentioned: combat-oriented, which not a lot of people will go with, the pickpocket-oriented, and the terribly sorry about that. I really was hoping that this one would kind of be a bit closer to the barbarian one in information rather than kind of like the sorcerer and cleric one, which are kind of more me goofing off. Sadly, I keep getting interrupted and I keep messing up my recording. Anywho, let's return back to what I was saying. The three types of rogue that there are the dungeoneering type, the pickpocket type, and the combat type. The combat type is the least selected, is still an option. The pickpocket type and the dungeoneering type, a lot of people will go with them depending on your campaign style. The pickpocket type is good if you're going to be going into a campaign that is really going to be focused around, more traveling the land, seeing what it has to offer. And the dungeoneering type is really convenient when you know there's going to be a lot of traps and dungeons where you're going. You know, a really kind of more hostile campaign, dungeoneering rogue would be a really good idea. But if you're going for more of a casual, every single day campaign, the pickpocket sneaky type is really nice. So, as the pickpocket type, of course, like every other class, you can only put 4 into your class skills and then 2 into cross-classing. We have 40, which means if we wanted to, 10 of our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 10 of our 27 skills could have 4 in them, which we may or might not wind up doing. First off, since I am a pickpocket type, sleight of hand, I immediately want to put my 4 in there. I lose 4 of my total skill points, leaving me with 36 to choose from. Immediately, I've already made myself a little bit better at this, for the pickpocket part at least. Now, do I want to be able to search? I think 2 in that. Yes, I do. I'll put 4 into search to help me find people's hidden loot, right? Which isn't a bad idea. Search is a relatively good thing. I'm not sure I'm going to need sense motive spot. If I am going to do this alone, I may need that 4 in spot. Which, I may have to like watch out in case somebody's coming behind me and no one's around. Tumble, since I am not very combat oriented, I'm going to put 4 in that just in case I need to hopefully evade some enemies. Don't want to get caught up too much. Appraisal, I don't know, I may not need to do that. Bluff, oh, I'm putting 4 in that immediately. Because bluffing somebody could save me or kill me. I'm not going to really need to climb, I don't really need to craft anything. Deciphering someone's writing, maybe. I'll think about that, that's an option. Diplomacy, put a 4 in there too, just in case my bluff doesn't work. Never know, because you may need to be able to talk your way out of some scenarios nice and calmly. The same with the device. Well, since I'm the party's only rogue, gotta do that. Because if nobody else in the party can do it, I can. Disguise. Tempting. I'm gonna do it. Just because, no reason, really. I don't need to do an escape artist much. I don't need really forgery. Gathering information. Oh, that's a tough choice. What are my other possibilities? Move silent. Yes. An open lock. Okay, so I didn't even get to do the cipher script because I don't really need that. So the progress you can see that we've already made on our character here. Right? In case you want to copy all this down yourself. or you may want to try to improve what I've done here. Because again, I'm not a big Robe player, so not role player, Rogue player. I'm like, as a group of friends that I have that we all play, I'm like the biggest supporter of D&D, and I love it. I love D&D. This stuff's amazing to me. Alright, so now we've got that covered. Since this is such a long list in general, I suggest putting in your actual scores within the first row of ability modifiers in general, especially as a rogue. You want to make sure you have your skills, the entire bit, all of that nice and neat. But I think we're good on that right now. So let's cover the back of the character sheet. So we're not getting spells. I don't do cross-classing. I don't suggest it. You can't go epic. You can't be an epic character if you cross-class. I just don't suggest cross-classing. So for that reason, scratch that out. Okay? You don't even need spells. Never gonna need them. Kind of useless for this character. Languages. We get common immediately. And we have 2 intelligence points, which means we can choose 2 different types of languages. One I am going to get is Draconic, because all magic users know Draconic, right? But who's to say that wizards don't have giant cash stashes? And also, in case we bump into a dragon, I can kind of try to speak with him. What other language could I go for here? It's a bit tough, actually. I'm not too sure. I'm a human. Maybe Draconic's like the second most known language anyway. Maybe I should go with Undercommon? No, we're not going to be Undercommon too much. I'm a pickpocketing type. I'd say, depending on what your campaign is, if you talk to your dungeon master, and if he tells you if you're going to go to a dwarven location, pick dwarven. If you're going to an elvish location, pick elvish. I'm going to take frickin' dwarven. Just because, you know, dwarves are kind of okay to haggle with. Elves are a bit more sneaky like me. Alright, for feats. Improved initiative we are taking from the basic set of given stuff there in the book. And for a secondary feat, I've already decided to look up and make sure I'm just taking skill focus. And it's going to be, of course, sleight of hand. The feat skill focus, you can select any one skill, and you get a +3 in it, which goes here in the 3rd row of skills. Right here in the skill section, if you choose any ability, any feat that would increase skills, they go right here in this 3rd row, because this is for your modifiers from your scores over here. This is for points that you put in, and then this is for feats that provide that. Skill focus is a bit of a weak/strong one. You can, I don't think it stacks, I'm not sure on that. And there are other trait feats like athletic and stealthy that you can pick, and they give you a +2 to 2 different skills. But skill focus gives you a +3. And for what we're doing, being a low character, and we're really oriented around doing this specifically, it's a better idea because now we get a +11 to it, which means we can. It basically means if anybody has coin lying around, we can get that crap easy. So as I can show you here on the feats, we only have those 2, but that's all we get as humans. Our gear is leather armor. So we put down pure leather. Let's see here. What does it say about leather armor? Leather armor is... it's light. I know that has to be light. It provides a +2 to your AC. Does it check off it? It's not saying that. Spell failure, I don't know. Speed stays at 30 feet, which means it doesn't drop you. It weighs 7.5 pounds, so 7.5. That'll be no special properties. I'm going to quickly just... no, I'm not going to do that just yet. Special abilities, we get our sneak attack. And we get... what is it here? What do they call it? They call it trap finding. This is the other thing about rogues, right? Trap finding. They're the only class that gets trap finding, which means this is why they are dungeoneering rogues, and this is why they're in the parties that have dungeons. They're in the party that is a trap-based dungeon, or campaign, I should say, to help you not die by them. If your party does not have a rogue dungeon masters out there, one way I've done it is make the trap simpler. I had a little area where my players were going through a dungeon, and it was sort of kind of a box layout, and every 3 tiles there was a spike trap that would come up from the floor and try to impale them. And I made it possible to see by a spot check, and they did a reflex save to go through it without being stuck. So that's one way you can go through with that. If you have a rogue, their trap finding ability uses decipher. No, not decipher. What am I talking about? Trap finding. What does this do? Rogues and only rogues can use stealth skill to locate traps. Blah blah blah. Use a disable device skill to disarm magical traps. Right, so basically a rogue uses disable device to try and stop a magical trap, and tries to use a stealthy roll to figure out if she has to disarm a trap or she can see how to work through it. Simple traps, you don't need rogues. More complex ones that you really can't see. First, you in a dungeon, you want your rogue to lead and tell you how to do stuff, but we're not that kind of rogue. We are the pickpocket, talking with you type, gonna steal your coin purse. As for our other possessions, we have a backpack, water skin, rations for 1 day, because you're always going to need that stuff, a bedroll, a sack, flint and steel, a set of thieves' tools, hooded lantern. This is getting dull. 3 pints of oil. Right? Because you need oil to go in the lamp. And a case to hold our crossbow bolts, and 10 C bolts for crossbow bolts. And then our gold is 4 D4s, which we'll do right now. I need scratch paper again. 4. Okay, that fell out, but 3 is fine. It's a total of 7 so far, right? 2 more. 1. Alright, whatever, that's fine. Because we don't really need to worry about our gold, because we're going to steal it. And then 3 more, so we have 11 gold on this rogue. No copper, no silver, 3 gold. Not 3 gold, 11 gold. I'm looking at the dice, get out of here. And no platinum. And as for weight and stuff, I'm just going to have you guys look up for your weights, because you may need something different. And that's all of our possessions, if you can read my writing. And there's our gold. So, for today, I have shown you how to create a rogue in Dungeons & Dragons 3.5. I've also shown you how dice can hate you and love you at the same time for a character. And also, note to DMs, if your characters are all kind of bad, there is a rule in my campaigns where you simply, instead of taking the random numbers that I rolled, for example, 13, 16, 14, 18, 8, 9, you can give your players the ability to just simply take 18, 16, 16, 14, 12, 10. See, instead of, like, this rogue is kind of bad, but for those of you that would rather, have some chance and use it by dice roll, you can do that. For people who are joining the game, I suggest just using these numbers for your ability scores, because then that's a +4, 1 + 3, 1 + 3, 1 + 2, 1 + 1, and then a 10, which you can always put into your lowestly decided skill, which means you take no negatives to it. Anywho, I have been Supermetroidfan, and before I go, one last look at our character. In case any of you want to copy down what you've learned today. Go nice and slow for you. And in my opinion, a rogue is always welcome to any party. No, there's nothing wrong with them. They're very helpful for the most part. And they're indefinitely, a rogue can become one of the most vital members of your party. You really should always try and get at least one rogue in your party, because these guys can save you from a trap of death. They can also save you a lot of money and whatnot. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today, guys. I hope you all have enjoyed, and I hope you all, doing these 4 characters I've shown you, which were the Barbarian, the Cleric, the Sorcerer, and the Rogue, I hope you all will hopefully look at them. I hope you all will be interested in them, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. I have been Supermetroidfan. This has been How to Create a Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 First Level Rogue, and that's going to be it for today. Maybe I'll see you guys later, and maybe there may be some more D&D content to come out. And for those of you that have been watching the channel for a while, I do have a review I'm editing, and I'm probably going to finish it today. And that should be coming out soon. I've been Supermetroidfan. Thank you all for watching. Tell me what you think of this in the comments below. Like, dislike, subscribe if you want to give me better feedback. And that's going to be it for now. So, bye guys.